Got it.
Okay. Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Kaewjai. I'm the advisor for the agency College Recruit, working with new clients to prepare their profile to be recruited by the universities in the US. Today is our lucky day to be talking to Pratt. Pratt Institute is ranked number 6 out of 240 US and international art and design colleges, and in the QS World University rankings, and it's number 4 in the States. And we would like to know for this talent school, how you get your chance of getting accepted to Pratt using the ability in the sports. So we are lucky to have the head men's tennis coach Inigo Torre Martin with us today. So hi, Inigo, how are you?
Hello, how's it going? Thank you for having me.
Good. Yeah. So why don't we start by telling us some more about Pratt and their unique qualities and the rankings that is so prestigious right now.
Yeah, so first of all, starting with the location, Pratt is located in Brooklyn, which is very close to Manhattan. And as everyone knows, Manhattan is such a huge city for art, for architecture, for pretty much everything. But a lot of artists live in Manhattan nowadays. And Pratt is a very famous and prestigious school within the art world. So yeah, we're in Brooklyn, 25 minutes away from Manhattan, and I feel it's like a small community of artists that in many occasions they go and even take their classes in museums or in different parts of the city.
Okay, so first off, what are the programs available at Pratt? You know, it's art and design. So is that every types of art, design? What kind of design, architecture is it included? And can you tell us more about the programs available at Pratt?
Yeah, so we have many different programs. Architecture is a 5-year program, and it's actually very hard to get in because the portfolio is going to be strong.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have many different programs of fine arts as well, such as animation, 3D animation, illustration. They have painting. You have photography. Then you have graphic design and many other different majors. Yeah.
Okay. And does it do they have the entertainment programs like music, singing, dancing, ballet, and or you know, classical music and things like that?
So unfortunately, I know there are minors in music, but they don't have a major. On the webpage of Pratt, you can find every single program that Pratt offers. And yeah, and then another one that many people ask about is business, and we offer a minor in entrepreneurship, but the rest is usually art related. Yeah.
So student can major in art in some form, and then minor in the management or arts management as their minor, right?
This is like out of Pratt is mainly focused on artists. Like if you want to be an artist, or for example also architecture major, then Pratt is your spot. But if you're looking to be more on the art management side, we don't really offer. We're mainly focused on art, like of people that want to become artists or that really are interested on arts. And then throughout the major, throughout the 4 years or 5 years they stay in college, Pratt hosts many different events, like face-to-face events, also webinars with big companies that they come to Pratt, and they offer internships in the city which opens up many doors for students to
Right.
to get a job after they graduate from Pratt.
Right. Right. I understand that Pratt alumni is very well respected throughout the international art community. And so it's a school that is very, very difficult to get into. You have to have the very good profile, very high, in English skills, as well as your grade in high school in order to get into Pratt. So that's the typical recruitment process to get into Pratt. But what we understand here, Pratt also have the sports program. Can you tell us more as the head men's tennis coach, and also in general, how do sports fit into Pratt?
Yeah, so we are actually one of the few art schools that offer sports, and not only just offer sports. Like, we compete at the NCAA Division III level, so we play against other schools, usually around the city, that also belong to the NCAA Division III, and we're actually moving into a new conference, which is called Atlantic East Conference, and we're moving there because we're gonna have a better chance of being way more competitive, and hopefully to be able to participate and play at the NCAAs at the national level. So
hi guys.
Hello,
sorry,
Stavros.
sorry, I had a big I couldn't get in. I didn't have this link. I had the old link and it wouldn't let me in.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Coach Stavros Zamopoulos just joined us. My name is Kaewjai. Hi, Coach. And to introduce, we are recording this session for the benefits of those who could not join us tonight. And I doubt that maybe there's some difficulties with the link, so many people are not getting in. So now we are talking to Indigo about the sports opportunity in Pratt, and Coach Zamopoulos is head men's soccer coach. So we have two teams now, tennis team and soccer team in Pratt, and it's surprising to have art students competing in sports. So can you join in and tell us some more? How big is your team? Do you have both men and women's soccer, or what is it?
Yeah, I mean, I will represent the women's team until and if Travis joins us, then he'll take over for the women's team. But I can represent the women's team as well, as I have. I was the head coach last year, and I have recruited 2 kids from Australia. One of them which will come in 2024, and one of them which come in 2025. So I can tell you that there is a demand for our. I can also tell you my men's team. I have 2 kids from South Korea. One from Thailand, and 2 from India.
Wow.
So I have already quite a bit of representation from the areas that you represent. The other thing is that we're not just an art school. We are really a talent school, and it's we do, because we have visual arts, we have animation, we have architecture, we have industrial design, and we have construction management. So we have, we encompass. 1 second, please.
Yeah.
1 second, I got a recruit on. Hold on a second. Moose.
Okay.
Can I call?
I can then.
I'll call you back in 2 minutes.
Why
sorry
don't
about
we
that.
switch to yeah, we can switch to Inigo to join in as well, because I didn't ask earlier. You have men's and women's tennis team too, right? Both men and women. And can you share the same information that Stavros is sharing? You recruit from Asia before, or is this your first time you're looking?
So this was my first year at Pratt. So now I'm actually doing some recruiting, but by the time I got there, we have the tennis team, we have players from India, we have players from China, we have players from the United States. So, and then also from South America. So a little bit, we have big diversity of players within the team, and we're trying to find more, as Stavros said, talent in art and in sports. That's what we're looking for.
Okay.
But I think the important thing is for you guys to realize that our target market is not just art, because the arts are very specific at our school. For example, we have industrial design, architecture, and construction management. So people who are interested in the building processes, we're very, very strong in that. We have film, animation, and visual arts, which means we're very strong on the artistic end and on the production end of the film and thing business and visual business. We have what we call visual marketing, which is marketing. We call it visual or marketing communications, which is really the art of making the advertising. So not so much the selling the advertising, but we have the art of making the advertising through animation, through film, through production. And then we have all the performing arts. So from painting to, so we are very, our niche is quite, what you want to call it?
Wider.
It's horizontal, right? So we can,
it's broad,
go from beginning to the end of a process. So that is what we are known for. And then we have the fringes, and the fringes would be something like interior design, which goes with architecture, right? We have fashion design. We have fashion design, which goes with really New York, and jewelry design, which goes with the film and art and industrial and design part of our business. So the scope of what we look for is quite large.
Yeah, I think that's interesting to know, because when we talk about art school and people automatically think of, high level of ability, as in artists that are like, you have to draw well, you have to do like the extreme ability, but the programs that you described, like production, the production part doesn't require the artistic value as much as the artist themselves, but to enable the artist to display or to market their art to others. And production in film and architecture, interior design, that's broaden up the target as we may think, and so I think this is good to know. So but the program is intense and it's ranked very high, so I understand the level or the quality of education is very high. But kids now have the opportunity to go to Pratt through the sports channel, be it on tennis team or soccer team. Can you tell us some more? What are the sports team that you have at Pratt?
Yeah, so we have men's and women's track and field. We have men's and women's basketball. Then we have men's and women's soccer, men's and women's tennis, men's and women's volleyball, and then we also have equestrian, which is
equestrian.
Wow. And then we just have one team. Yeah, and then as you mentioned, that Pratt is very high ranked and prestigious. When I speak to my players on the team, they tell me that many of their professors, they have their own companies. They are working in New York, so they are actually hands-on every day in the architecture world, in the art world, And this is why they actually get to learn so much from them, because they are also, some of them at the peak of their careers. So they are actually learning from someone they probably look up for, etc. And that's a very important piece of why Pratt is successful, very successful.
Mhm. And for your team members, they do go and compete in you mentioned NCAA Division 3, right? Can you tell us some more about their schedule? If there are art, and I assume they will have lots of projects to a deadline to submit their work and things like that. How do they fit in the practicing scheduling with their schoolwork?
So usually the way we do it at Pratt is we try to schedule practices before class starts. So that way their homework or the schoolwork doesn't interfere with practice time. And then we also have like signing sheets where they can show the professors, I have a match on this day at this time. So as long as the students are proactive, then the professors usually they want to help the students, and they maybe extend the deadline, or maybe they give them a couple of extra days, etc. So it takes a lot of communication from the student with the professor, but we do have absence seats or absences that are excused as long as you're part of an athletic team of
the team. Yeah. So I think attendance, it's more relaxed, and school will work with the team to make sure the students have enough time to do their work and things like that. Do you have a supporting system like the teacher?
I'm sorry, I have to drive some, but I wouldn't agree with that. I think that is a misstatement. I think or a misconception. It's not that you have a softer requirement. The requirement's the same. The difference between Division 3 and practice are mandatory, and because of no scholarship, it's actually a lot harder. Now, the difference is that, for at least for some of our sports like soccer and volleyball and track and field a little bit and basketball a little bit, the seasons are shorter. So you don't have as long a commitment to your sport as you would do in Division 1. That's basically the difference. And the truth of the matter is, at least in many sports, if you want to compete at the top level, if we want our athletics to be at the same level as our academics are, we would have to be, everybody who does that is basically a Division 1 level teams or programs, but without scholarships and with more limitations. So basically you have, what you're looking for are kids who want to play very seriously sports, but they cannot do it as a job. That's basically the difference. You know, in Division 1, it's a job. In Division 3, it's really athletic. It's really academics and athletics combined.
I see now. Okay, so it's not the level of difficulties or requirements or how much they're good at, but it's also just the length of the season might be different, but they have to contribute to their schoolwork as much, and also their sports performance.
Exactly. It's no different. It's no different than if you were going to an Ivy League school. Okay, so the only difference is that the Ivy League schools can compete at one level higher than us in Division 1 because of their name and reputation, and because they have the infrastructure. And there are many
Mhm.
Division III schools, what we call the little Ivies, Amherst, what's the place? Tufts, Emory, University of Chicago, well, really are the small Ivies, but really, or Pomona in California, well, really are Division I. They're just like Division I Ivy schools, except they don't give scholarships. So that's the only difference, really. And in my sport, for example, I can give you a very good example. In my sports, the national champion is University of Chicago. And I'm sure you all know who University of Chicago is, right? It's the number one economics and political science school in the country. So, it's, that's all, they're national champions.
Yeah. So can I ask more on the scholarship? Okay, now that we mentioned it, playing sports and having scholarship, it's a commitment, right? So when you recruit students for your sports scholarship, what you're looking for?
Can you repeat that question?
Hello.
So
Yeah, like what are the qualities you're looking for the students to join your team and be considered the sports scholarship?
We don't have any sports scholarship. That's the problem. If we had sports scholarships, we would be Division I. We do not have sports scholarships. We cannot give any financial aid consideration at any level, or we would be in violation of the NCAA D3, and your coach would be fired. There is you cannot give any consideration. No, you can't talk to, you cannot guide. So there is no financial consideration for athletic ability that Division III can give. None. Or preference. What we can do is for those kids that are good enough, talented enough maybe they are super talented in sports, but not super talented or maybe a little bit behind in their academics or art. We can maybe help, because they're going to represent the university, we can help them in admissions. And that is what we offer. For those kids, for the kids that want to do and want to receive a Pratt degree, if they're part of our recruitment group, right? They have another person rooting for them in admissions.
I see. Okay. So what the requirements and to go into college is the same, but if the coach if you have the ability, the talent, then you make sure your resume is being read, basically, right? Instead of piling up in the applications. And so you make sure it get noticed.
That is exactly correct. And that's exactly almost like, it's like what you'd get by being recruited at Ivy League, right? You're not getting any financial benefit. You're getting just the admissions benefit. So that is where we are. We are that level, and our art and our architecture is number 3 in the world. Our industrial design, our industrial design degree is number 7 in the world.
Wow.
What we offer, it's Pratt offers merit-based scholarships, not to everyone, but once admissions take a look at the grades, at the portfolio, they decide whether they will give some money to that
academic-based. They're academic-based scholarships. So
just like all good schools. Yeah, you have to do academic performance first, right? Like first year, have the results, and then
actually at Pratt, you don't have to do that. If your application meets certain standards, they're gonna give you, even as an international student, even as an international student, you are going to get that merit scholarship. So And that merit scholarship can be up to $25,000.
Okay.
But it
The
just has
highest-
nothing to, but
The
it has
highest
nothing to,
28,000. Correct.
but it doesn't have nothing to do with your athletic ability. It
Yeah.
has to do with
All right,
your
understand now.
academic and art and your talent. So if you have
Okay.
high enough talent, and there are other scholarships we have, right? That also talent based
mhm.
for academics
Mhm,
that can even increase that. So the
mhm.
key that we are offering
I see.
is that we can help you get admitted. Or if you have another, sorry, I shouldn't say help. We have another, you have another strength in your admissions because you're going to represent the
Athletic.
university at athletic level,
Mhm,
which will
mhm,
give
mhm.
you, which will give you a benefit in admissions. And therefore, when you
Right.
get admitted, you will be eligible for that academic aid, which
Yeah.
you only being considered after admissions.
Mhm.
And we do not
Understand
know
now.
we do not know the amount of money until the student has applied and
Mhm.
accepted.
Right.
Until then,
And we
don't
can't
know
even
how
talk
much.
about it. And Inigo, we cannot even talk about it. We
What do you
cannot
mean?
talk
Right.
about the amount of money.
Oh, yeah, because we don't decide it.
Not only we cannot
Right.
talk
Understand.
about it. If we talk about it,
Mhm.
we're in violation. We cannot say, well, if you come to our school, you're going to get X amount of aid. That's a violation.
Right.
So because that
Yeah.
is showing that mixes the academic and the financial. What we can say is that these are the criteria for you to be considered for a merit scholarship, right? Academically, shit, sorry. And if you apply, we will make sure that you have put in your application in all ways so that you're considering that. Because the people who
Yeah.
are applying without knowing that and without having somebody to do that, very often do not apply for those scholarships that they can get.
Mhm. Yeah. I think this is the benefit of having a coach is to be looking out for the benefits, like what they can entitle for, all the applications, all the documents are in place. And so this is a prestigious school. Obviously, the quality of the students who enter has to be the same as other students. It cannot be just good at sports. So this is different, definitely. And so I think it's good though. It's good to know that the level of education there is so high, and when you graduate, you can be proud. And if you are competing in sports, even better. That means you are very well rounded. I see that if I apply for Pratt and have very good performance in school, and also I can do well in sport. It's just a more rounded portfolio. So that's a quality to be considered.
Well, there's one more
Right.
on that. There's one more extra on that, in that not only is that true what you said, but for international students, especially from the areas that you represent, the applications are so many, right? That how you differentiate for the talent is hard. So therefore, being able to represent the school in more than one capacity makes you
Right.
very much more desirable. So versus the people that you are competing for admissions, right? From your country, it makes a big difference.
I think, yeah, I think even more make me feel even more excited for the kids to apply to Pratt, because I think it just shows you're not compromising on the quality of your students. And so can I shift to if when you talk to students, you what do you look for in order to catch your eyes? Because for the kids that play different sports in different parts of the world, what are the things that you look for in order to catch your attention?
Okay.
Inigo, you can go first. Yeah.
Come on, Inigo, you can do this one.
Yeah, so I mean, first of all, it's that they are competing at a high level. And then the second one is they gonna match the profile of students we're looking for. We want to look for students that have interest in the art, architecture, because we know there's a lot of talent out there. We need to look for and find that specific type of student that we know they will be successful at Pratt. Because there can be a community of students out there that if they have no interest in art, architecture, graphic design, industrial design, fine arts, etc., well, we know that their academic growth is big. So we need to find those students that are going to be successful both academically and athletically, because and that's every time I one of the first thing I ask when I talk to student athletes are like, what are your interests? Because those interests they got a match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so you do look at their profile, as in have they been in a competition or a contest or have their show and things like that. So it's in the profile that should show some of the achievements in the field, right?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Obviously, we look at the talent, and then once they've been playing the sport most likely their whole lives, so they have a certain athletic level. As soon as that requirements are met, then the second thing that I try to figure out is what they want to do. Some people know they want to do business 100%. Well, we cannot be losing so much time on someone we really want to recruit, but then we know that Pratt is not their spot. But however, if we have someone that they are super interested in architecture, and then if they also are good athletes, then those are the ones that I stay in touch with. I try to recruit them and to have them on campus, because we know that they will be successful, athletically and academically. So it's a little bit of once within the art world we have quite a big variety of arts and majors we offer, but at the same time we're looking for a very specific type of students.
I have to agree there with Inigo. The first thing we look for is an academic match. So we cannot recruit people that do not have interest in the offerings that we have academically. The other second very important thing for us is that the students that we recruit must understand what it's like to go to school in New York City, right? We can't recruit people who want to be in Florida or to be next to the water, to swim every day, or, there's very 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 descriptive or very limiting or very detailed information what New York City is. So if somebody wants to live in a mountain and be next to we're not going to be able to get. That's not somebody who's have a good fit. So our fit must be A, academically, B, location, and C, the talent to perform on the pitch or on the court.
I think it's an investment for the kids and the family to go to Pratt, really, because I understand cost of living must be high too, but then you are going to, you know, the top school, not just in the States, but the world's high ranking as well. So they must invest quite a bit of their time. And do you have dorm? Like, do your students stay in your dormitory, or do they stay in? Do you have to find a housing outside?
Our freshmen are obliged to stay in our dormitory. After that is their choice.
Okay.
So we you know, a lot of our internationals, you see, that's another difference. For example, the international kids that come into our school that are not part of, say, of sports, they tend to then stay in the dorms all 4 years. The international kids that come to the sports, they make friends with local kids because they are in the sports team and all their friends are on the sports team, and they end up joining a lot of those kids and going on their own apartments, which gives them a completely different experience of New York City, of learning how to be in the United States, and also opens their future employment and future choices.
Right. Do they, I understand some of them might be even working or taking some other works. Is that possible? Do they have that much time?
Not only is
Maybe
that
that's what I
possible,
should ask.
not only is that possible, but my construction management sophomore who was transferring to Pratt has an interview today with one of the companies that I know that I've recommended him to for a full internship.
Ah, okay. I think that's important, you know, for such students. They have to have as much experience as possible. And I think to be working or taking projects and things like that and enhance their education program. So it's not just a classroom type program, definitely.
Yeah, I mentioned this before Stavros joined the call. Throughout the year, Pratt organizes webinars, events where people from a ton of different companies from New York City come speak to the students, and they're looking for interns, they're looking for people that may fit into their jobs. So they constantly, every year, they have multiple events where the students have opportunities to not to talk to different companies, see what they're looking for, and at the end of the day, once they get that internship, get that experience, that once they graduate, they're in a much better position to
I agree with that. And on top of that, because of a lot of our professors are not just full-time professors, they're part-time professors from the fields that they teach. A lot of times, especially say industrial design, film, animation, in all of those fields, the professors select the students, if you do well, and offer them work within their companies. So you're exposed to the top professionals of the field that you're studying.
Yeah.
Correct. That's what I was saying, that's why the education is legit, because they're working. That's the staff and professors.
Yeah. That really appeals to me. I think if I get a chance, I would love to apply for Pratt myself, but I don't have any talent. So can I open up for
We'll put you on the women's soccer
team
team and you'll get in.
ask?
We're going to put you on the women's soccer team to make sure you get in.
I'm probably good at delivering drinks and stuff. I'm probably good at cheerleading as well. Can I ask the other participant to ask more questions to the coach? Either of them. Kun Jung-ka, do you have any questions? Can you introduce yourself a little bit to Coach Kun Jung?
Hi, Coach. My name is Jim, and I'm like AR Consulting, the global director, because I have to go around in many countries, and it's quite interesting because if I know this Pat before, I might like support my son because he is the soccer. and he is also qualified for Thai national team under 19s, and he got the scholarship for Reading FC in England for 2 years, but he didn't get professional contact. That's why right now he's in Georgia Atlanta at Life University, but it's the senior years for him
So
already.
he's in NIA, right? NAIA? Georgia
Yeah,
Atlanta is NAIA.
Yeah, he's an NAIA. Yeah.
So if
Because
if you would like to get his master's in any of our things like real estate, he's more than welcome to come to us.
I quite interesting about the program because right now he is start doing some of film productions with his mate in the university, and I think if he know about this, that for his master, that it will be that interesting, and I'm planning to go to visit him this Christmas.
Please stop by because our film master's degree is, I think it's top 5 in the world. I think we have so many alumni that have come through there, and so many of the production people that work in New York City come from our film master's program. So I need, if you want some help on that, or see, that's where we can come in and help.
That is a perfect, Coach. That's what I'm appreciate to hear about that, and I'm quite excited that for this is another pathway of my son that he want to do it of this way too. So I think this is it will be good, and I can help for promoting about this for because I'm have to talking to the client and knowing about now all the background and the detail that I get information for today. I didn't have any question as much that I already write it down and know. The volleyball, you said you have track and field and volleyball. Both of it is also can be both like boy and girl, right?
Correct.
Okay, because we also having because my husband, he is the assistant head of the school international in Thailand, and he used to be the PE head director. So I think he can help me for searching and qualify for the good good sport.
What you'll find is, well, I'm sorry, there's a music in the background. I can't help it. But what you'll find is, if you find the good match, so if you find a player at whatever level they are, if they're interested in our academic offerings, you will find them wanting to come to Pratt, no matter what the athletic level of his other choices are. For example, the girl that I was recruiting from Australia is a film major, right? And when she saw Pratt, when she looked into Pratt film major, it didn't matter. She plays in WPL in the first division in Australia. It didn't matter what other schools offered, because she saw that unless she can get into UCLA, which then she can't play soccer there because it's too high of level. Unless you're at that type of level, she wanted to come. She just wanted, it was a fit. So if you find that if you find people that are interested in our offering, no matter what their athletic level is, they will choose us.
Yeah. And it's also, it's a good that of the choices of this path is because you combine it, academic, art, and sport. This is the what I'm doing to my kids since they was still young. This is all the parents would like to having a kid is having everything all in one, that to making they having joy and also having the activity and having some art to do it, and academic also. So I think this is a good this is a good opportunity, and also it's a good choice for a parent that, as you said, that you don't have to be a high level of the sport, but you might be good at art, or you interesting, because I having my best friends that they are interesting about the architect, but we're going to Italy, but I think maybe I might changing their mind. Yeah.
It's good
See,
to know.
Pratt,
Okay,
if they
Tim
come
Boom.
to Pratt, if they come to Pratt, we have a year abroad for our architects, because Pratt, in 5 years, you can actually get your license to be an architect in the United States. So not only do you can spend 4 years to get your international architectural bachelor's, but if you stay 5 years, you get your US license to be an architect. And one of those years you can spend, say, in Italy, doing an exchange program. I have a kid, one of my soccer players is doing that now.
Oh,
Same.
that's
Nice.
perfect. I have one more question, please. Like, did you require about SAT, TOEFL, Duolingo, or IELTS? What level that you expect for the
So
We prefer the
English?
SAT. We prefer the SAT and the ACT, because those fall into the criteria of the merit scholarships. So if they can take those as well as, say, TOEFL, it really makes a difference on how they apportion and how they consider for the merit scholarships.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Tim
you.
Boom, do you have it?
Hi, good
Boom.
evening, coaches. My name is Boom, and I'm also working for AR as the senior advisor to get ready for the students to get a profile. Okay, and as far as I participate in the webinar here, your Pratt is very interesting. I wish I can get back to be a student and study with the Pratt. Anyway, how do you plan the kid or the students to stay in the Pratt in order to get the full architect, kind of like how long they have to be in the school in order to be a perfect architect? Understand? Does he need to do they need to be like a finished master, up to master degree, or it has to be like a
That's the amazing thing about that's why Pratt is so good in architecture, let's say, that after 4 years you get your master, your bachelor, and if you our architecture offers a 5-year program that almost every architect chooses, which gives you not only your bachelor's, but it's not exactly a master's. It gives you the license to practice, which is like a master's.
Yeah.
the license, I mean the license,
which means you have your license to practice anywhere in the world, including the United States, in 5 years.
I see.
I like
5
that.
years at least, right? Okay. Yeah.
And what they do after that, and usually they combine it with a real estate major or a real estate master's in 6 years. So in 6 years they can go with a real estate master's and a license to be an architect.
Oh, that's perfect. Because I was working with the finance company as a real estate coordinator, so I know how important is the architect is. That's why I said if I can move the clock back, I want to be a kid at during this age and study this major. Okay, thank you, Coach.
Okay, I think we can wrap up because I think we have good information from both of you, but why don't each of you leave us what you like to get from students over in Asia, what you want to communicate to them or telling them. Coach Stavros, why don't you start?
what I'm looking for in Asia is really 1 to 2 young, mature, young men that are talented in their field, in one of the fields that we offer, that have an exceptional level of athleticism or athletics. So I am looking for that U19 or UC or high-level academy player who wants to be an architect or wants to be a film or wants to be a painter, right? And is willing to make the investment to do that while he plays his sport.
Coach Inigo?
Yeah, so pretty much the same. I would say that in order to be successful at Pratt, you gotta love your field, like what you're good at. If either it's
The
art,
craft,
and
right?
then,
Yeah.
yes, you gotta love going to the class, going to spend time on your projects on the studio. You gotta love making projects, but you also gotta love the sport, because if you don't love both, it's definitely challenging. So I want kids that want to be challenged, because it's definitely challenging to be successful at everything. But we already have players from Asia actually, that are managing perfectly fine, and they are being very successful, and I'm sure they will be successful in their life, because again, sports teaches so much that applies to life. And I think we didn't mention this, but when I was interviewing for jobs, as I was an athlete, and it's the same thing for some of the players in my team. When you speak to a recruiter of a company or to someone that is interviewing you, when they look at your background and they are like, okay, this person knows how to manage the pressure of your life, social life, of your academics, and then your athletics. So if someone has gotten through college being able to manage all three, it's rare that they will not be successful at any job they will be looking for. And many managers, many recruiters, they know that. They look at the curriculum and they see a student athlete, and those are the people that are really looking for. So I think it teaches a lot of lessons.
Right.
I would like to add,
basically it attests to the quality of the person, right?
If I can add something to that, what Inigo said is exactly correct. But now, if you come to Pratt, the person who is interviewing also knows that you know how to handle yourself in a major city like New York City, which means in order for you to be able to be successful as a student and an athlete and someone who can navigate the the New York City, one of the most vibrant cities in the world, as a 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old, there's no job that they cannot manage. Plus, one of the other things that it's way underrated is that if you look at what we offer as a school, it's all individual talent. Talent. Many of our sports now offer you that chance to also show that you can do it in a team. So the person who's finishing Pratt with that level of individual talent and the ability to know how to handle it in a team setting has a huge advantage in its education.
Yeah, I think this is very good information, and thank you both of you for enlightening me with this is a new perspective. It's not that sport is a way of going into college, but actually playing sports in the college, in the place like Pratt, enhances your ability and your attractiveness when you get when you graduated. It's like it's another level. It's also a Pratt graduate, but Pratt graduate with the ability to show the ability to be a good teamwork, to be able to manage the stressful juggling between the coursework and the practice, and that it's like it's a Pratt grad with extra qualifications. So this is very enlightening. Thank you both of you for joining us tonight. And if we have any high qualified students, we'll let you know. We'll just like hand them to you, because we will know that this is really the best school to be in if they are interested in arts. Thank you, and good luck with the season, and have fun. And then whenever we're in the States, I'm sure I'd like to stop by and visit you guys. Okay.
Please do.
And,
And if you could send us an email with all your information, because at some point we may need to come and look at some players over there. And
Sure,
we
would be happy to host you.
And we'd love to be in touch and tell you what we're looking at, what our needs are, and communicate your contact information to our other coaches who may have people who reach out to them.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate that. And we would be happy to get like as many good students to you guys as possible. So take care. And thank you for joining us, Kun Boom and Kun Jum as well. You take care ค่ะ สวัสดี
thank
ค่ะ
you. Have a good day.
Hi, you are really welcome.
Thanks very much, guys. Thank you. Sorry for the background noise.
Thank you.
That's okay. That's not bothering
It's
at all.
okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Guys, bye bye.
ไปกันแล้วค่ะ
เยี่ยมมากพี่ก้าว
ดู
ปิดเรคคอร์ดยังคะ ปิดเรคคอร์ด
เดี๋ยวก่อนนะคะเดี๋ยว